Hi, this is Stu Dalton. I'm going to take a quick tour around the house in my home in South Menlo Park. I hope you enjoy it. A lot of roses. This one's been with me a long time and back of me. This is Handel, a climber, and it's been on this side of the house for over 30 years. What I'm going to do now is turn the camera around. See the front entryway, and there's some David Austin roses. The white one next to the car is Desdemona. Then Gertrude Jenkel, Claire Matan, and my Sally Holmes that's out there. Then a Betty Boop and a Chicago Peace. And over here you've got a couple of interesting ones. My favorite, I think, of the David Austins is The Poet's Wife. Smells like lemon, looks like lemon. And this, believe it or not, is Mademoiselle Cecile Brunner, the small version. There is the small version, not the 20-foot high version. Over here is, again, the Handel and some a little wilted today versions of Claire Matan, and the other is Hannah Gordon. Over on the side yard here we have a Michelangelo rose just coming out, Helmut Schmidt, and a Graceland, Hot Cocoa, Canyon Road, Apricot and Lemon Trees, and then we get to the new area of plantings over on this fence, which is brand new last year, and so are the roses. Two Sally Holmes right over a ballerina. Ballerina, of course, is the parent of Sally Holmes. Then a Nicole, pardon me, Hannah Gordon, used to be called Nicole, and Dick Clark. Then there's a grapefruit tree back here. And what do you do when you have a garbage cans? Well, one thing you can do is plant a climbing iceberg, and yes, there are climbers over the top of the garbage can area. Peek, garbage can. And then we go back into the north garden. The north garden is one of my favorites. All replanted recently in the last year and a half, because the fence had to change and the property line had a change. So there are quite a few things here. That bench has been there for a long time, but most of the roses have changed. There's a Sombrui at the very left-hand side, a Teasing Georgia, a Sugar Moon, Wild Blue Yonder, and then there's Elena, several others, lots of hot cocoa, and quite a few that's fading a little bit, 4th of July. Strike It Rich in the back there, that yellowy. And what's been a very nice bloomer here in the front, this Olympiad standard. Some minis lining the pathway from Fairhope and the Dr. Tommy Carnes. And then there's some hot, pardon me, Smoking Hot, and there's Baldo Villegas and Jolene Adams, the roses, not the people. And there's some older roses along the fence there. I've just had them climbing up there the last couple of years. Madame Alfred Carrier and what I call Jacques Cartier. That's how I bought it from Heirloom. There's one not in bloom right now, Fame, and a Paul Nyron over here. Over on the other side here, there's a little bit now blooming of a Huntington's 100th, otherwise known as Life at the Party, and a Gemini and a Rose. Continuing on the backyard, the Wisteria was in full bloom a while back, 120 feet of it along the back. And for those of you that have been here before, there used to be a trellis here. It's gone, along with a new roof. This is School Spirit, one you don't see very often. It's a one by Berlin Leon. And there are a couple of others here. I love this little area to sit in and glide back and forth. It literally is a glider. The backyard now has a few different colors, some blues, some purples, etc. And you can see the main areas here. I've got an altissimo up against the wall, a ruby pendant, and then that climber that's in full bloom right now is Zafirine Duhan. And probably the most unusual pairing in the garden is two former directors of the district, Rose Velarde and Jolene Adams. And they're having it out in the same container. Probably not big enough for both of them, but then that's true for all of these roses along here. I've got two in most of these. There's a Jean Keneally, a cupcake, a gourmet popcorn, and then I really like this climber. The nice thing about it is it's if it gets out into the area of the walkway, it doesn't hurt anybody because it's thornless. Some French lace up above in the little room there, pergola room, is one side has Lynn Anderson, and that's Double Delight on this side, and on the other side is Olympiad. The Watsonia is a neighborhood one that I've been growing for many years and have to divide it again because I've got a lot of them. Okay, the crow's not happy with me. Then over here we've got what I call my main bed in the back of the house. This has the Sally Homes that are the parents of all the ones I've taken cuttings of, probably hundreds over the many years I've been here. And I got this originally from Clay Morgan, founder of the society. Going up and seeing what's going on in the main bed, yes, the crow is commenting. There's a Gertrude Jenkel, Nicole Escapade, Imogen, which is a nice one that I don't think many people have, from the David Austin Company. A Louise Audier, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sperry's Hoop, Golden Celebration, Lady of Shallot, the Lark Ascending, and one that isn't showing up right now is Sunset Celebration. And the bane of my existence, these 160-foot tall redwood trees. You can see 4 trunks. There are actually 7 down below, but they're mowed off and underneath the power lines. And this provides nice shade. Nice shade for things that like shade, not for the roses. There's a great big rhododendron over here. A couple of nice Lady Banks roses in bloom. Over here on the pergola, I had a stray long New Dawn cane that came over, and so I said, well, I'll put that across the top. So this year I'm going to see what that looks like. Gardens are always changing. I call this the working garden. You can see I've got a greenhouse and there's some potting areas in the back that I'm not going to show you. They're very messy. But here's a few more roses, an altissimo I've had for many years, another Hannah Gordon, and more Sally Holmes, a touch of class. In the distance you'll see what I think is a very nice plant. It's artichoke, and I've already taken about 15 artichokes out of it this season. You can see way back against the fence I've got a bunch of climbers. I'm not going to take you back there because it's a little too long. I'll just point out that inside this wire mesh area, you can see there are flats and flats at the far end of plants. They're both rose starts and tomato starts. And off to the side here, where I have a little bit of room, and I couldn't walk there if it were berries with thorns. These are thornless blackberries. I can get back there and harvest a nice crop of blackberries here soon. I'm on the creek. I won't go down there. This is the East Creek. In other words, that's the drive. There are a few extra roses back here that are literally extra. Some of them are being raised for the club. Some of them are just out here because I didn't want to throw them out, and I've put them back here. This area was my project in Master Gardeners. You had to plan out the water, the sunlight, and this is very, very shady. It gets very little sun. So I've got a lot of natives and low water use things in here. That's Ceanothus down the bottom. Dusty Miller and lavender, and then there's some low-lying manzanita, prostrate manzanita. There's a bower over that bench. There are not many roses in here. The one that is in here has been there a long time. That's Buff Beauty, a hybrid musk that can stand more shade. And then right in back of it, there is a just recently planted Sally Holmes that I'm looking to fill in that gap. I've got some orchids in the back, more wisteria, succulents. There's that prostrate manzanita, another Sally Holmes. That's a kumquat. There's some things back here, but not much that you'd be interested in. This is where I experiment. I've got 3 potted 15-gallon or number 15 pots with roses I picked up this year, bare root. And I'm trying them out. And if they make the grade, they go in the ground somewhere. Maybe something else will come out. A jasmina and a Joseph's coat of many colors, and clairematan and sensuous, which does have a nice fragrance. Things are a little burned up today because it was warm. This is America. It's pretty shady over here too, so it's Belinda and Ballerina over here, 2 different hybrid musks. They're short. They do pretty well in the shade. This is a nice view of Desdemona with Chicago Peace over to the left, and Gertrude Jenkel. I really like that. I have some starts of. I wish I could tell you this fragrance is just divine. I wish you could have a chance to smell it. Maybe you can. The clairematan there. And this year I wrapped one of the long canes of my Sally Holmes around the tree, and you can see it's coming down and blooming now, just beginning. So we're back to the beginning. That's my quick garden tour. I hope you enjoy.